Welcome back, you guys. Today's video is important for literally anyone who's a human being because if there's one thing us humans find very difficult to achieve, it's to have peace in life. Being in a peaceful state of mind always, or at least most times, this is the single most important thing I've been working on since this year, because even though I was healing, I realized I still had really hard days. After the end of the day, I would just feel so sad, so empty for seemingly no particular reason, and I'd get really anxious because why am I still feeling this way? Why am I crashing after a few good days? And after a lot of self-reflection and support from others, I realized it's because I was still not prioritizing peace. I still held on to expectations as to how I should be feeling every single day, and that these feelings should be more positive, more uplifting. But our emotions don't work that way. Being a human means having the capacity for a wide range of emotions, and healing doesn't mean only good days. And this made me understand that the only state of mind that I should always aspire to be in is at peace. I'll feel happy some days and I'll feel unfulfilled the other days. I will feel motivated sometimes and I'll be really tired the other times. And these are all fleeting emotions. But what will determine my experience of these emotions is whether I choose to remain calm or if I give meaning and power to these thoughts and emotions. So really, the only way to get through life while also being sane is to develop our ability to remain peaceful in all the stages of life, to always come back to the self, the truth. And today I want to share some things that have been helping me immensely to attain peace in life. If I had to pick one thing out of the list that I'm going to share, it has to be detachment. This is the basis of any spiritual teaching, and to put it very simply, it means removing your identity, your attachment from anything that is not your truth, aka your soul. It might seem a little advanced if you're not spiritual, but essentially we're all souls having a human experience. So this human body, that is not our truth, that is not who we are. It's sort of just like a vessel. The soul is who we are. That is our identity. So detachment is removing your energy from everything else that is not your soul. Now, of course, it's definitely not as easy as I've just said it, because at the end of the day, we are having a human experience. We are all connected to different people, different situations. So to detach from all of that completely is a little out there, but we can still practice detachment in our day-to-day lives. The first is detaching your self-worth from everything external. This means making yourself fully believe that you are not your grades, your job, the clothes you wear, the people you want to be with, etc. Your worth comes from your soul, and at a soul level, every single person is beautiful, pure, divine. So you are beautiful, pure, and divine too. We tend to base our self-worth on our achievements, our skills, just all of these external things. So call back your power and know that your worth is rooted in who you are, your soul. The next is to detach from people's opinions, expectations, and criticism of you. And a great way to do this is to understand that nothing is personal. Everything is a projection of one's own perception, and people can only meet you where they've met themselves. So their idea about you is actually not based on a lot of truth. But we value others' acceptance and affection so much that when we don't receive it, or it's not available in a way we want it to, we lose our peace of mind. We worry about the worst case scenarios, or we spend all our time and energy in trying to change them or fix them. And at its worst, we start believing that something is wrong with us, not realizing that we have little to no role to play in the way people decide to show up. But when we detach from all this, we can remain neutral no matter how someone is acting, because we know that it speaks nothing about us. You also need to release expectations from situations and outcomes that are outside of your control. And I'm going to quote the OG Gita, where Krishna tells Arjuna that acting with detachment means doing the right thing for its own sake, because it needs to be done without worrying about success or failure. When we detach from our ideas of what life should be, how things should turn out, we create so much of peace for ourselves, because a lot of suffering and stress comes from trying to control things that are outside of our control. So do the best you can and just let go of all expectations. Our need to control disrupts peace most in life. We want specific things, specific people, we want life to go our way even when we know that it doesn't. There is so much of serenity in giving it all over to the universe, knowing that nothing we need will pass us by. This requires a ton of practice, but it's so worth it, because when we surrender our ideas of what is right for us, what is not, we allow for things to fall into place at their own pace instead of losing our minds over what should and could happen. If you can't change something, you can't. No amount of energy or time and effort spent on it will change it. Living in this knowledge will remove like 95% of your stress. So surrender your ego and see how peaceful life becomes. Great tool to practice the two things I've talked about is meditation. When you practice the art of stillness, you delay your reaction to life, and eventually you'll stop showing up from a place of ego. Meditation, in simple terms, is observing your inner self, your thoughts, emotions, reactions, patterns, without wanting to indulge in them. So you can become aware of them, but also be able to let them pass. And that is what life is about, right? We should be able to live it without getting entangled in the depths of it. Practicing meditation regularly will allow you to detach, to surrender, because the closer you move to your inner truth, your inner light, the less significance the external holds. So if you want to attain peace in life, start meditating every single day. Do it for 5 minutes, if nothing else. Don't stop when the resistance arises, because the monkey mind will try to fight the stillness, but you have to send it to the backseat. Mind your business, stay in your own lane, focus on yourself, don't focus on others, because focus on others only puts pressure on ourselves. Even if we don't consciously realize it, we start believing that we have to rise up to their level, or others are getting ahead and we are not, even though everybody's journey is different. This takes away our peace. But when we take all this energy and invest it into ourselves, we see a lot more growth, a lot more abundance, because one, we'll be showing up as our own authentic selves because we're not subconsciously influenced by all these other people, and two, we just have a lot more time to work on ourselves, to focus on ourselves, because we are not spending it on other people's lives and what they are doing with it. Continuing with the minding your own business theme, cut out all drama and gossip from your life. I know, it's so tempting to talk about others, gossip about their stuff, critique their choices, create all this unnecessary drama because it gives a false sense of purpose and superiority, but it's not nice. And this is not to like judge yourself and beat yourself up for doing it, because it's a human tendency to feel better about ourselves by bad-mouthing somebody else. But please catch yourself when you're falling into this trap. I still struggle with it. A quick judgment comes out when somebody is different to me or when they trigger my own insecurities, but the way I stop it is by literally taking a pause. If I hear something and I get this urge to go tell my sister or a friend, I stop myself for a second and then ask, would I want somebody else to know about my business and should talk about it? Would I want somebody else to judge me because I'm different from them? No, I don't. So why would I do the same thing to them? Love and compassion is the way. If you can't say good things about someone, don't talk about them at all, because everybody is doing the best they can. So it's unfair to gossip and criticize somebody else just so that we get an ego boost. And it feels like we're achieving something, but we are living in a low vibe when we're doing this, when we're taking part in it. And peace is a high vibe state. You can't live at both these places at the same time. So cut out all drama, focus on yourself, practice love and kindness. Now, being a kind person doesn't mean you have to tolerate mistreatment. Yes, don't rain on someone else's parade. You can choose to be a loving person, but if someone is being unfair, nasty, oppressive towards you, place a boundary. You don't have to put up with anything that doesn't align with who you are or where you want to go. We lose so much of peace by giving our power away. We keep investing our time and energy into people and situations that drain us, that don't serve us, because we're taught that our desires always come second to someone else's, that it's selfish to prioritize our needs and our well-being. But you have to say no, cut people out, speak up, and stand up for yourself, with love and respect, of course, to protect your peace. And it's okay if it makes you a bad person in someone else's perception. We can't always be good people, that's just a reality. But it's so important that we stay true to our values. When we embody them every day, we're at peace because we know we are living our truth. It's also very, very important to place a boundary with yourself, asking someone to not say mean things to you as a joke, and then having a really mean inner dialogue won't change much. So catch yourself when you're straying away from your values, when you are falling back into old patterns and old habits. You have to be a disciplined person to be a peaceful person, so stay firm in the boundaries you establish with yourself. It's so wonderful that we get to spend and share our life with all these beautiful people, but it's so important to set aside me time every single day. How long this has to be depends on your own schedule and your life, but you have to spend time with just yourself, doing things that you like, things that make you happy. This helps in building a strong connection to the self, and it also brings you closer to your inner truth. When you spend time with yourself, when you are content being with yourself, when you enjoy it, you remove the pressure of other people's presence to make you feel a certain way. So much of our stress comes from the idea and the fear of being alone, of not having friends, of not having a partner. And it's essential that we are surrounded by all of these loving people, but they are not the means to our happiness and our peace. They can add on to it, but peace and joy is created from within. So create a sacred time and a sacred place just for yourself, to which nobody else has access to, not even the closest people. This is just for you and your peace. Peace is ruined when we try to swim against the current, when we try to stay up the wheel at all times or desperately try to climb the wheel up again. We need to understand that life works in cycles. We need to be up, but we also need to come down, to learn our lessons, to reflect on our achievements, to ponder on the direction we want to take. But nobody wants to experience these hard emotions. There's a negative connotation to sadness, to feeling lost, frustration. But these are such valuable tools to the overall richness of life. If you're always happy, always successful, then we are stuck in this one place forever. There's no growth. We will be the same people all our lives. And frankly, that is so boring. We lose our peace whenever we are at a place that our mind convinces that we shouldn't be. But think back on all the times when you've grown as a person, when you've become a better version. All of them would have happened when you were uncomfortable, scared even, because growth does not happen in the comfort zone. When we get into the flow of life, we can normalize a range of emotions instead of labeling some of them as good and want to stay here forever, and the others as bad and want to get out of here ASAP. When we can hold acceptance for the way life works, the ride becomes so much smoother, because we create resistance when we cannot accept that something is happening to us or that we are meant to experience this something. But when we remove the judgment and understand that every cycle has a meaning that will be understood in time, we can stop fighting the change and the discomfort. We can stop fighting the flow, see the clear, still water. All of our regrets and anxieties lie in the past or the future. If you think about it, you are never troubled in the present. In this moment, there's only peace. Think about it right now. In this moment, do you have any worries? Do you have any stresses? You're either beating yourself up for what's happened in the past, or you're fearing what is going to happen in the next moment. But here, in this moment, you're safe. You are at peace. Now imagine if you lived every second of the rest of your life like this, in this moment. Imagine how peaceful it could be. I mean, the past is done. You cannot change it. You can only learn from it. And the thing that you're stressing yourself out for, it might not even happen. Heck, tomorrow might not even come. The only thing we have is this moment. So bring yourself back here, and the best way to do that is to bring awareness to your breath. Notice your breath entering and leaving your body, and realize that as long as you have it, you can change your life, you can change your circumstances, and you can choose peace. Queen Gratitude is here. She's present everywhere. Anything you want in life, gratitude is the way. If you can be grateful for all that you already have, can you be unhappy? It's only when we participate in the rat race that we lose our peace, because we don't have everything we want. But then again, we can never have everything we want, because the list is so long and it keeps getting longer every time we do get something we want. But if we can say, it would be lovely if we got that thing, but it's not the most important, because I have so much already, so much to keep me sustained, so much to keep me safe, to keep me happy. Do I really need more? The peace that is created with this, because so many of us don't even notice the precious things that are given to us already. We're so stuck on our own ideas, our own desires, that in chasing them, we don't pay attention to the things that allow us to chase after our dreams. Recognize the abundance already present in your life. This is the only way to attract more of it. And the wonderful thing is, you have gratitude, you can stay detached to the outcomes because you already feel so abundant, so fulfilled, so at peace. If something big comes your way, you celebrate it, but if it doesn't in the way you want it to, it still won't make any difference. And the final thing is to choose peace. You have to make that choice because peace won't magically come into your life when all your problems are solved, all your desires are fulfilled, as most of us believe. We are always going to have problems, we are always going to have desires, there's no end to it. But when we make a choice to remain peaceful during hardships, stress, failure, and even when we are happy, when we are fulfilled, that's when we can truly experience life the right way. Anyone can be peaceful when life is convenient, but the true challenge is to remain calm even when there's discomfort and distractions. So peace comes with discipline, the choice to prioritize it and practice it every day. And there'll be many times when it'll be tested, times when it'll be too hard to remain calm, but it's these times that will strengthen this mindset, an opportunity to train ourselves to choose peace again and again and again. Because with this, nothing can phase us, nothing can disconnect us from our inner light. So yeah, I hope you found them helpful. Comment down below which of these you already practice in your life, and if you have any other things that you do to protect your peace or to include more peace in your life. I would love to hear them. Thank you so much for being here today, for watching this video, and I will see you again in my next one.